be providing updates for you all for the newsletter. Between the two of them, they should be able to cover what's going on in engagement and then what's going on in the broader network. What they did ask is if you wouldn't mind, when it's time, reaching out to them to kind of ping them and remind them that you need that content, like you so generously did for me, which was really helpful.
Right. And if you just want to do, I mean, I've worked with Chris before, but if you want to just kind of do an email introduction for me and Maria and Chris and Mary, that would be great.
Absolutely. I'm happy to
Thank
do
you.
that.
Yeah, we will definitely, Maria and I will definitely miss you, working with you, Michelle, as well. So you make it so easy for us.
Thank you. I really am amazed by the newsletter. I mean, Deb, it was incredible when you did it, and I love that it's just grown and grown. And I think it's a really exciting, I don't know, just in general, I think this group has really grown over the last couple of years, and it's been exciting to watch and really a pleasure to be a part of, even though really you all are doing all the work, and I'm just kind of the behind the scenes support. So does anyone else have any questions about kind of logistics of passing things over, recommendations?
Michelle, it's Pam. I guess my question is, we had talked about doing our next membership subcommittee meeting in January. Would it be possible to have both you and Chris on that meeting if we could get it scheduled in January? And then we can definitely transition that over and then kind of all be on the same page.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a great idea. And I'm just going to go ahead and speak for Chris because he's not on the call. But I think that sounds like a really good plan.
I will email both you and him with dates for that. I'd like to actually work with you to kind of walk me through doing a Google, one of those doodle polls for time, so I can kind of take that over for scheduling meetings too.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Michelle, I just have one last question. When's your official last day?
So it will be, and this is where it's a little bit vague, and I wish it was a little bit more concrete, a 4 to 6 week transition.
Okay, if you don't know, you can always let me know.
Yeah.
I just want to know when to stop bugging you.
Yeah, same here.
I would assume for now that we should work under the assumption that I will be finishing up February 1st, so at the end of this month. If for some reason things take a little bit longer, I might have a little extra time, but I am anticipating that my work on this other project is going to ramp up pretty quickly. So I think we should say let's work with January and see what we can get done.
Great.
That sounds good.
Okay, so I am thinking we should go on to subcommittee updates. Research, Derek, do you have anything to share with the leadership?
We had a really good call back in November, right before Thanksgiving. We didn't have a lot of people because of the timing, but we talked about some upcoming changes to ICN and how the network is evolving to be more of a research network and ways that the committee may be involved. And we responded to a specific request from Dick Coletti for some support. And so I think we're humming along and just looking for the next opportunity to get together and talk about what we want to do as a committee.
Great, thank you. And maybe in the future, I'm talking maybe in the summertime or anything, if you'd like to write an article for the newsletter, I'm sure Maria and Kathy would be happy if you have any other updates or projects that you would like the parents to get involved with. They'd be happy to put it in the newsletter. So I'm just putting it out there as a suggestion. So.
Sounds good.
Great. So membership.
Hi. Yeah, membership. There's kind of a lot going on as far as getting the directory finished before conference. So it is almost finished. We're just finalizing, getting a few consents from people that are in the directory to make sure that we can release it. And then working with Carrie Ward and Anna Derwalla from the UK. Carrie has done an awesome job getting the rest of the people into the directory, and Anna had helped a ton with actually making the template with all the information that came from the surveys. So it's almost done, and I guess it's pretty much right now in my hands to do the final editing and then get that to Michelle, which will be my push to get it done before January 15th, so she can look it over and send it out, so we don't have to worry about that being on the plate when we transition. But that, I think, is very doable. So any questions about the directory and how it works or what it actually is or anything?
I can't wait to see the finished project, the product. I think you guys have done a really great job. And I just wanted to thank you and Carrie and Anna. I know it's hard for Anna to be on these calls. I'm actually going to the UK in May, so maybe I can hook up with her. I don't know.
Yeah, you should.
So if there's anything you need me to bring to her, we'll talk about that at the conference.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing is, along with the directory, the welcoming the new parents that sign up to be on the parent working group. We have a system, it's a flow chart, and we have a system for Michelle, who would send the emails, the initial email out to them, and then we would have a parent volunteer contact the new parent and ask them if they'd like to talk or would like a contact, and give them the information about the all call for the parent working group to welcome them. So we're really working on kind of getting the bugs out of that system, because we're not getting a whole lot of response from parents. We've gotten some, but not a ton, and we're just trying to figure out if there's a better flow to it. So our next meeting, I'll work with Michelle and Chris to talk about what we can do next and what we can do better. And we do have a good group of parents on that committee, on the parent working group. I guess it's the membership welcome outreach subcommittee within the membership group. So there's about 10 people on there, and I think we have been alternating or taking turns every month emailing the new parents that sign on, and that's actually been working really well with the parents volunteering to do that. It's just the follow-up after that, and if the parents are actually getting the emails and, reaching back out to us, how is that going to, be an easier, smoother process.
Great, thank you, Pam. And also we can have more discussion on this when we all meet up in Dallas, for those of you who can come. So because we're pressed for time, because the all call is going to be at 7, I'm just going to move right on to communications. Kathy, do you have anything to share with us?
Maria and I actually finished the January newsletter today. Michelle, did you receive the link to that?
Thank you. I did receive the link. I haven't had time to take a look, but I will take a look tomorrow.
Okay, great. So that should be going out this week. And one of the things that, we continue to need are just, any parent who wants to contribute a short little write-up for the family spotlight, any helpful tips, even a physician spotlight, if anyone's child's physician would be willing just to do a short, couple paragraphs about, why they like having a parent partner, really anything. Maria and I will actually probably be sending out individual emails to specific parents to ask them to contribute. I mean, we know that everybody's busy and it's hard to find time, but You know, it doesn't take long just to write a couple paragraphs, and, you know, if you have a family photo, just even something that was taken on your phone, just submit that. So just that kind of information, really anything is helpful. Michelle's done an awesome job providing us with information about ICN and the ICN side, but we just really continue to need information from parents. So that's about it on that.
Thank
Kathy,
you.
can I just ask a quick question? I have in our slide deck for tonight, for the all parent working group call, this call for submissions. Do you want to include that, or do you want me to just take that out?
You know, I guess to me, it's not so, I mean, we do definitely want submissions. So, you know, under volunteer commitment, estimated 1 to 2 hours, I don't think it's even that. I mean, you know, honestly, just to even take 15 minutes to email a quick tip or just to write a couple, you know, paragraph or two. Yeah, maybe that would help, so it doesn't seem like, oh gosh, you know, I don't have 1 to 2 hours. I mean, honestly, it's I don't think that time commitment is required. But yes, anything to get people to submit is what we need.
And did you want to put on the slide, Michelle, that it's for submission to be in the newsletter? Because it doesn't say that on here, but I'm not sure. I'm sure that'll be mentioned for the newsletter, but
yeah,
that's a good idea, Pam, to say that specifically for the newsletter. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Is that better?
Looks good.
Perfect.
Thank you. Anybody have any other questions for Kathy? Okay, so if we go on to, we don't really have a strategy committee yet, and that's something we're going to talk about hopefully at the conference about restructuring. And that's the next thing I wanted to talk about was the community conference planning. Molly Ernst will be doing the flight reservations, and we're allowed 10 parents, which means that it's going to be all the leadership. If for some reason you cannot make it, it's March 28th to the 30th, correct, Michelle? If for some reason you cannot come to the conference, if you let us know ASAP so we can invite another parent, because we do want to use all 10 spots. I hope all the leadership can be there. Is someone talking?
It's March 29th to the 31st.
Okay, 29th to the 31st. Okay, great. So we were talking about fundraising. Right now the funds are coming directly out of ICN because we don't get any more funding from CCF. We thought something was going to come through. It hasn't. And maybe we should start thinking about, and this probably won't happen during this phone call, but think about ways that, I know the PAC does some fundraising for themselves. I don't know if that's something that the parent working group would want to take on. We're trying to save money. So like I said, this is coming out of the ICM funds. If anyone is willing to room together with another leader parent, please let Michelle know. Or if your care center is offering to pay for you to come, that would be nice. Currently, we have no proposals for the breakout sessions that are parent working group based. We may be able to piggyback onto something from with the PAC, but any suggestions are welcome, and this is just something I want to put out there so people can start thinking about it. We still have 3 designated parent times so we can sit down and do some strategizing, brainstorming about fundraising and structuring of the parent working group. So does anybody have any questions about that?
So Deb,
go ahead.
This is Shelley.
Hi, Shelley.
When we think about the conference, when are you thinking that we will talk about what those sessions are going to look like?
Well, if we want to put into a proposal something for just the parent working group, there's a deadline. I believe it's January 25th. Is that correct, Michelle?
Let me pull up the application right now.
So if you have an idea, I would say put it in immediately.
Did we have a list of suggestions from the last conference that, because I thought we did a survey on what we wanted to see at the future conferences. Is there any kind of file that has that in there?
Michelle may have that.
I do. It's it's in the notes from last year before the conference. It'll take me a few minutes to find it, but I can.
Yeah, we'll give her a couple minutes to look up that stuff. So I'd love to have a breakout session and have it be on something that the parent working group is doing. Right now, I personally am fresh out of ideas. We also need to talk about filling the leadership positions. I do not have a co-lead, so that puts me in a position where you know, I have Crohn's myself, as everyone knows. I'm not on the pity wagon, but you know, I also have, as everyone else does, a child with Crohn's. And if something was to happen to me or to my child, I just want to make sure that these meetings still happen. So, so Michelle just said proposals are due on the 28th for the conference. So, I'm up for any suggestions, and if anyone wants to submit something, even without my approval, feel free to do so. I don't have to police you all. You guys are wonderful and come up with wonderful ideas. If you feel that there's something that you would like to present and you need, I would help you with it if you wanted it. But if you want to do it solely on your own, or if you want to do it with the pack, they also love it when we collaborate. So you're more apt to be picked for a breakout session if you collaborate with another group. So this is something that we really need to get on. And I think that everyone's been kind of relaxed because of the holidays. Now it's a mad push for the community conference. I can't how many emails and webinars I've been on since the first of the year. It's been crazy because and I did put it out there that I will not be on the February call. I will be on vacation. I will not be available by internet or phone. I know Mary McGowan is going to be doing the all call, so I asked her to be facilitator on that. But I need someone who will facilitate the leadership call. I'm hoping someone will volunteer for that. It's pretty easy. You know, Chris will put together the agenda, or you can call Chris and put together the agenda, and then you basically just go according to the agenda. I just yak. That's what I do, and I try.
So the next leadership call won't be. It's only quarterly, right? Is that what we decided on?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. The
Okay.
next leadership is until April. Forgive me. See, I have too many things in my head. So yeah.
No, that's fine. I just saw that on the last email, so I was
Thank you, Pam. Thank you. I apologize. So Mary McGowan will facilitate the February call. But just things to think of in the future, I will not be available for May, June, or July. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to be in London, and then I'm going to Wyoming. I'm going to be not available. So if I'm hoping to get a co-lead, here's the other thing. We do have a couple applications in, so this is good news. We only have one application so far, but we want to make it fair to everyone. So if anyone, or you know of anyone who wants to be a co-lead, who's been at least to one conference.
Did we put that in the newsletter that we needed co-leads for? I guess that was just recently though that Bev stepped down. So has that been announced to?
Because Annette is no longer part of membership either. So
membership will need one, and then strategy also we need two for strategy. So technically we need a code for the leadership, and then one membership, and then two strategy, and then do we need a co-lead for research, or do we have?
I think Lisa pitched Derek is kind of sort of your co-lead in case you were to have to bow out, but I I don't think she's officially in the position, but she could definitely pick up if needed, right? Like if your daughter got sick, correct, Derek? Derek? But anyway, Lisa Pitch is very much involved with research, and I think she would step in if needed. Right now, I think what Derek has said in the past is that there really hasn't been enough work for 2 co-leads in research. But it's always nice to have someone as a backup, just because, as you all know, at any time, oh, Derek just said that's correct. Not sure why you can't hear me. Okay, so he said that's correct. So any one of our children can get sick and we might have to bow out for a bit. So my motto is I want to continue all the good works and I don't want any hiccups. And it's just always good to have somebody have your back. So yes. We need to have a timeline for these applications also. So Michelle, what did we decide on when people need to get these applications in? Oh, yeah.
Well, I know that one person has already submitted their application. If you want these leads to come to conference, what do you think about announcing it tonight and then having the end of next week be the deadline?
I think that's reasonable because we're kind of under the gun. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea too, because that's really one of the only good ways to get people, to inform people about it that are wanting to be more involved. If they're on the call, then they're probably wanting to be more involved. So it's a great way.
The only problem I'm running into, Pam, is that our bylaws state that you have to at least attend 2 conferences. Now we're backing it up to at least 1 conference because I'm not getting any responses, and now it's hard to get new people to conferences. So I know you've had a couple people that you had in mind for membership. Please reach out to them and tell them that to get an application for Michelle and have that in by the end of next week. I'd appreciate that.
Can we have a slide made for that, Michelle, for tonight, or is it too late? I know it's, put your notes in there and then application due by.
Or maybe she can remind me to, or you could remind me to announce it.
I can add it really quickly, especially
okay.
if we jump off 5 minutes before I can do that. The other thing is that, and Kathy, I'm so sorry to do this to you. I wonder if we swap out in the place in the newsletter where you included the scholarship information, if we swap that out for that leadership application. The reason being 8 of the 10 scholarships are already filled, and if a few more people do become leads, there actually won't be any more scholarships left. So I don't want people to apply for scholarships when there won't be any.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's totally fine. That makes sense. We can absolutely do that.
It's basically going to be a leadership conference because that's all they can afford to send right now.
Yeah.
This is Shelley.
Michelle, are you able just to swap that out on the newsletter?
I think so. I think I'll give it a try.
If not, let me know. If not, let me know. Yeah. I just in terms of what kind of the wording, I don't have the exact wording. But if you send it to me and just a short email, I can drop it in too.
That sounds good. Yeah, and sorry for the last minute change. I'll try to do that either tonight or tomorrow first thing so I don't hold you up. Deb, do you want me to share a little bit about what the PAC is doing for fundraising for future conferences, or do you want to use your time with something else?
Well, I think Shelley had a question. Let's ask Shelley. Oh. Shelley, did you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick question. Do we have a list somewhere of all parents who have attended the conferences in the last 3 years or 4 years that we could email and try to recruit someone for these positions?
Yes.
Yes. Do you want me to share that with you all, and then either you can create the message and send it out, or you can pass the message to me and I can send it to those people? How would you like to do that?
Actually, I would like Michelle to just write up a quick summary of that we're looking for some co-leads to those people and send it out and say that it needs to be in by next week. Is that okay with everybody?
I think that's good. I think, but saying that on behalf of the current leaders, that we really are looking for help and we welcome anybody that would want to be a part of this. Just kind of making it more from us, I think, from the parents.
Yes.
Already involved in it, that we really want people to step up and help.
Do you all want to draft the message and I can send it? I'm just thinking, like you said, Pam, I think it's more powerful coming from you all as a group. But it's up to you.
And I'm okay for giving that up to someone else because right now I don't have the time to do it. If someone would like to take on that and draft up something short and sweet and send it to Michelle, that would be great. Any takers?
You know, I'm happy to do it, but I would need some background information on what the requirements are.
I think we're being pretty relaxed about the requirements right now, and that's something that we need to talk about at the conference, only because I don't want to sound desperate, but we kind of are desperate. It used to be that you had to attend at least 2 conferences. That didn't work, so now we're down to saying, okay, well, if you've attended 1 conference, we'll take you on. I think it all depends on the person, and you know, once they go through the application, it goes through the executive board, and then comes to me, and then we make a decision. So you know, it's kind of a sticky wicket right now because technically there's going to be some people who are going to be transitioning out pretty soon, and that's pretty scary. You know, I feel like I got my finger in the dike, and I'm just trying to keep everything up and running. I won't leave unless someone can take my position, but technically I'm up in the fall, so because it's a 2-year position. So I don't want to scare everyone. I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'll move to strategy council maybe, but if someone wants to take over my position, because it's always good to get new blood in, and I think people are sick and tired of hearing me talk. I mean, we need new ideas. So we're open to anybody. I don't want to say that there's any real structure to it right now, but that's something we need to discuss. I can't make those decisions on my own, and we need to have it come to a vote at the conference. You know, I have a brainstorm about it, but in the meantime, whoever applies, we will definitely look over their application and pick the best choice, I guess.
Okay.
And Shelley, was that Shelley who volunteered to do that, or was that?
That was Shelley.
Yeah.
Oh, Shelley. I also can send you, if it's helpful, the role description, which might give you a good place to start as well.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
Thank you, Shelley, for doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so did we cover everything in leadership? Is there anything else, like in the back of your minds? I would like everybody to think about fundraising and what we could do. So hopefully that we have more than 10 scholarships for the fall conference.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea if we can talk to the PAC. Maybe we could.
Oh, that's right, Michelle. Did you
like a meeting with them to find out what they are doing for fundraising?
Right.
And maybe that can be one of the sessions or parent times where we talk about, you know, kind of the general. What is the purpose of the PAC and what is the purpose of the parent working group, and how we can actually work together to support each other, and including raising funds so that we can get more people to the conference. Because I think coming to the conference really motivates people to work on things and to do things and understand ICN better and what it's all about. And then to just, if we don't have as many parents there, I think it's just going to go downhill as far as getting things done.
I think you're right. And one of the other things that we need to think about is really the parent working group hasn't done a project lately. And I think when Dr. Coletti is looking for money from people and for sponsors, it would be nice if we said, well, this is what we've done. Over the past year, we've definitely, done our directory, we've done our newsletters, but I think it'd be better also if we, and this is something we can talk about at the conference, we need to come up with a project, something that will almost kind of like the Buzzy for Shots thing, or the SCD cook night, or just a new project that has not been done over the past year. So anyway, Michelle, do we need did you want to add something, Michelle? I'm sorry, I cut you off. Did you want to talk about the PAC real quickly, about what they do for fundraising?
Yeah, sure. So the PAC has proposed to the executive directors for ICN, and it's already gone through the approval process, that they want to work on a fundraising project to raise money for the fall conference and future conferences for scholarships. They have in the past designed t-shirts and mugs and different things like that with ICN and PAC logos on them. And so they'd like to sell those materials and then use the proceeds to go towards the scholarship fund. They've got a good process worked out. I'm going to be honest, it's really hard to raise enough money just from that for conferences, but certainly it helps, right? So if you're interested in working with them, I would definitely recommend reaching out to the co-leads about that.
Thank you. So my last question is, do we need to click off and then click on, because Chris Keck is going to be our guest speaker, and I suggest if everyone has time to please be on the 7 o'clock call, because he's going to be speaking. And do we need to click off this call and then go on to the other call? And I hope that call will work. That Zoom number will work. If it doesn't, check your email, and Michelle will send you a new number if that doesn't work. But does anyone have anything to add? I want to give you guys a few minutes to have a coffee or use a restroom break or do whatever before we get on the call at 7. I thought this was a really good turnout for a Tuesday night. I'd like your feedback on it. If this night works for you guys, we'll continue it. Or we can always go back to Sundays. So any comments, suggestions, thoughts?
I think for now it works really well.
Okay.
Works for my schedule.
Great.
I'm 3 hours behind you guys, so it works for me perfectly.
Is that Shelley?
It's Maria Tribble.
Oh, Maria, hi.
Hi.
Thank you for being on. So thank you everybody for your hard work. I couldn't, I couldn't hold this together without all of you. I don't think I say thank you nearly as enough as I should. I will hug you all when I see you in Dallas. I hope you all can come. And please let us know if you are coming. And if not, then we'll have a couple slots open. But I hope it all can be the leadership, because we really have some serious work to do. So I'll let everybody click off if that's okay with you, Michelle, and then we'll be on for 7.
Sounds good. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, everybody. See you in a few minutes.
You.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.